was something funny. Okay, because you know what? I think vulnerability makes bonds go stronger. And if anyone who knows me in this room, which sadly there's a lot of you, so I'm a little nervous. I'm just kidding. But who's got a good toxic trait they want to share? You share one and I'll share one. All right, toxic trait. Let's go. Brady? Oh my God, this is perfect for this conversation. Okay, who else is a toxic overachiever? Raise your hand. Okay, maybe you don't see yourself as an achiever. Maybe someone else looks at you and says, you're doing too much. Raise your hand. Come on, y'all. Sandy, go ahead. I know you, girl. Just kidding. My toxic trait is I watched the freaking documentary about, what was it, Woodstock 99. And the next morning, I started listening to Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit, okay? So my significant other, Uriah and Desario, would be so embarrassed of me right now, but I don't care, okay? So, all right, so let's talk about critical, right? I'm gonna stand, Tanya, you want me over here? Okay. Tanya's like, you better put your ass in front of this thing because the lighting's weird, so I'm going over here. Okay, all right, so critical. Whenever we think of this word, sometimes I feel like it has a negative connotation, right? Maybe you're thinking, ugh, I'm so critical, or people are critical of me. It's like maybe reposition that, reframe that into something maybe a little bit more productive, right? Instead of just thinking about critical, maybe change it to thinking critical. And like, what does that look like as in like reference to yourself, right? Am I sound okay? Am I echoey? Am I good? Okay, thanks, Fritz. Thanks, Angel. I think, I made myself notes so I wouldn't go off on tangents, but I kind of want to be like real because I think that'll be effective. I think oftentimes we're really critical on ourselves because we are forgetting to review the variables around us. I think my approach these past 6 to 8 years of my life, I was constantly giving myself value based on what others were assigning me, right? And then the world got shaken up and social justice started rising and everyone started looking at the world a little differently, and so did I. And I realized, and this is a really freeing moment for me, and I wish this for every single one of you, is that one day I woke up and I thought, you know what? The work that I'm doing in every avenue, I'm involved in a lot of things. But I was like, the work that I'm doing in each one of these avenues is providing value to my community or my friends or people I really care about, people I don't know, marginalized communities. And I thought, and perfection is bullshit, all right? Unless you're a surgeon. Who's a surgeon in here? Okay, you have to be a perfectionist, but like, all the creatives here, you're good. But I literally just thought, I have got to let go of this like, really, I mean, obviously I'm always gonna have high expectations for myself, but I had to let go of letting someone else define those for me, right? And then that's when I was like, all right, I take what you say with a grain of salt and I appreciate your feedback, as constructive or as diminishing as it can be. And so basically I was like, well, fuck what you think, I'm gonna go over here. Just kidding. But I do think, you know, that really freed me up from feeling so, I don't know, heavy all the time. And so again, like, I think being critical of yourself can be really productive, and being critical of, you know, your variables and whatnot can be, I think that's kind of where you need to shift your mindset. It's being critical of your scenario, being able to look at every asset and think, okay, how does this measure up? How does this affect me? Is this something that's really serious? I think, you know, I mean, how many in here like to take molehills and make them to mountains? Raise your hand, go first, come on. Okay, how many I got? Yeah, see, that's a lot. I think that whenever it comes to critical thinking, it's slowing down, taking the fog out of your brain, and just thinking, it will be fine, you know? I don't know, who needed to hear something like that today? Are y'all good? You feeling good? Okay, good. Let me double check my notes real quick, because I know I had a point I wanted to make that was really just like gonna shake the room. Y'all should be thankful for my notes, because I'm an oversharer. I told you about Limp Bizkit. I'm already embarrassed. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, okay, real quick. So like freeing your mindset up, like that's not an easy thing, right? That takes forever. Definitely like therapy helped me get there. I definitely, you know, you all have read like the books, you know, strategizing books and how to make your day more productive and better and whatnot. But all that shit is like really good. All those tokens are so important. I started surrounding myself with people who generally were supportive of me, or just like letting me know, like, you know, really Like their criticism was very constructive. Like I actually started surrounding myself with people like that, like mentors and friends, you know. And I can't tell you what that does for your brain space. So if you have some people in your life that just make you crazy, you know, it can be your aunt. Dude, just cancel her. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I embrace one another. But basically just remind yourself that, you know, again, this life is short. This is your book. This is your story. You want it to be interesting to you and others. And if you don't think it's interesting to you, or you don't feel like your character is getting these shining moments, then it's just like, change it. And good luck. No, just kidding. No, but I think it's the foundation of everything. So if you're able to lay yourself out to be like self-love, I'm able to assess these things fairly, I'm able to be just to others and myself, it really will set you up for other things, because I think once you have that fog out of your head, you can do more. And this goes to my next segment. Listen to that motorcycle go. Okay. All right. So Jess had mentioned social change. So many years, I don't know, 8 years. I've been here since 2009, but the past 8 years of my life, anytime a nonprofit was like, hey, you want to help out? I would be like, yes. And then all of a sudden I was like, I don't sleep. But it was really rewarding, and I like that. I think everyone should have some hustle years, you know? This is what I'm saying. Like, I understand, like, you should challenge yourself. Sometimes you're going to go through some tough things, handle it. But just remember, at the end of the day, like, your state of mind is most important, and your health. Okay, so here we go. Change, critical thinking and change, or just being critical with change. Anything that ever happened in history and society and things like technology and all that stuff happened because of disruptors. People who were critically thinking, hey, this shit sucks. Or they were thinking, I'm tired of the status quo, or hey, I don't want to do all this work. I don't want to hand build this stuff. I want to make a machine about it. I want to, you know, I just want to bring solutions to the table, right? But they had to think completely different. And so I challenge some of you all to think about, to be so inquisitive in your life and to kind of assess things and be like, okay, could this be different? How could this be different? Do I need to be different to do that? And different as in, like, you know, it could be subtle evolution, small changes, you know, maybe a change in routine. But I think that, especially with this time, I'm just going to do really heavy breathing. Everybody primal scream with me. I'm just kidding. I think as I go into the heaviness, you know, the world today, right, everybody's kind of looking at it from all these different lenses and being like, oh, shit. These systems, these structural systems are so weird and messed up, and maybe, you know, like there's a lot of white supremacists hiding behind all these curtains and pulling levers. And, you know, there's all these different things that are happening in our society, and I don't really love it. And maybe sometimes you feel helpless. How many times have some of y'all felt like, fuck, how am I gonna work on this? Raise your hand. I love doing this to y'all. I'm just really exercising y'all. You can thank me later. This is 5 calories being burned right now. I'm just gonna go in a circle real quick. Okay, no. Okay, so what was the last question I just asked y'all? What would I say, Mary? Helpless. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, so y'all are feeling helpless, and I came in to save you. I have savior complex. No, I'm just kidding. You're feeling helpless, and you're thinking, how can I change or help or whatever? Well, okay, so if you can clear your mind up to assess a scenario, find some solutions and whatnot, then the next thing you do is you find community. You find people who are like-minded like you. You step into different styles of advocacy. My whole life, this is so funny. I've always told people, I'm like, I'm gonna make the word advocacy sexy, you know? I'm gonna make people say, I love advocacy, and I wanna help everybody. That's always just been one of my goals, you know? Because, I get tired of like being on social media and seeing 37 selfies, but sometimes I'm like, hell yeah, woman, man, you look hot. You look great. But I also just kind of want to be like, but what are you advocating for, you know? And what I find is a lot of my friends are like, I'm actually a little scared to advocate on my social channels. And I'm leaning in on social because that's the new digital frontier. That's really how all of y'all are connecting. It's not like y'all are writing letters, being like, Dear Susan, this is how I feel about women's rights. I hope you're with me. Like, Susan's like, I'm gonna burn this fucking letter. Just kidding. So as I make a joke, I just make the weirdest transition. I just walk. That's what I'm gonna do. After I make a joke, and eventually I'm gonna be at the wall. So advocacy, it looks so different for everyone. And I wanna, again, I thought if I have a microphone, I should try to empower some of you, right? Sometimes you're like, I don't know if I should post. I'm nervous of people's feedback. I want to reshare this. I think this article is important. I think this resource is important, like Hark. You know, there's nonprofits out there. This is what I say. Who cares what other people think? Your platform, no matter if it's 100 people, 5,000 people, if you're a TikTok all-star or whatever, millions, that is like your one little soapbox that you can get on and be like, did you know about this? It's like we're in the digital age where there's so much access to information. It's like, why not share that, right? And so that's me saying, y'all forget about what your aunts think. And also give yourself some love, because even if it, again, people sometimes think like, I'm not doing enough. Well, it's not like the person who came up with the cell phone all of a sudden was like, here it is. It's like, here are all these weird, awkward phones before this phone. Here's a landline, you know. Here's a cup with a wire. So these little incremental changes and these small steps that you take to trying to create a bigger change or bigger like critical mass or momentum, like it's important. Maybe you're someone's like, well, I'm really bad with words. I'm gonna donate $15. Actually, my budget's kind of tight. I'm gonna donate $5. That's something. And don't let someone tell you otherwise. Also, you can always hide what your donation looks like, you know? I just think that if you all could just know that each and every one of you is special, your voice is important, your actions, no matter what they are, make an impact. And you may not know this, but you have 27 stalkers on each one of your Instagrams being like, what are they doing next? You know? I want to do that. And so maybe you should smile about that, because you're actually influencing without being an influencer. I mean, go ahead, post that hot selfie. I don't care. I'll do one after this. I'm just kidding. Okay, so let me get back to my notes real quick. I think I had a funny story to tell you on here. Hold on. I said Karen's on Facebook, didn't I? I said that. Status quo sucks. Oh, okay, here's another thing. Okay, so I'm in communications. I always have been, right? And so one of my gifts, maybe you call it a gift, some people probably say it's annoying, is strategic communications, especially in crisis, right? So here's a crisis. You post something you're advocating for. You're critically assessing the scenario that's happening in the world. You're putting yourself on the line, right? And then someone wants to have a conversation with you about it. Or maybe you're just meeting someone and you're like, oh, they know that I feel this way. Or maybe they know I didn't do that report on time. A friend of mine once told me about a book that I didn't fully read. That's a very creative thing to do. How many people have books, you start in and you're like, never mind. Not Brittany, don't lie to me, girl. Okay, everybody, okay. Brittany and Erica are my book friends. Or more than that, you're more than book friends, but you're also my book people. Okay, anyway, so this book called Never Split the Difference. Who's read that, anybody? Yes, Juan, that's what's up, okay. Juan, yeah, okay, cool. Good, it's a good book, right? Okay, I made it halfway. But anyway, but what was great about it is it said to lead with your vulnerable stuff. Put that like spicy stuff on the line. So it's like, okay, I'm talking to Mary Mickle and I'm like, hey, Mary, I know we're doing campaigns together. I didn't get my assets done. You know, you just like start with that. But you say, but you know what? And then you provide your solution, or you add something positive to it. Or maybe you're going to talk to someone and you're like really embarrassed. There's something embarrassing going on. It's just like, yes, I spilled coffee all over myself. Do you like it? You know, and you know what? Honestly, this is what it does. Not only does it like put you in a stronger position, because now whatever card you thought someone could play against you, they now can't. You have taken away their power of the man. No, I'm just kidding. Of the person you're talking to. And so maybe that could help you whenever you're having these tough conversations. Or you could be like, hey, I know we don't really see eye to eye on this, and I'm not really trying to change you in this moment, but I thought this information was important to you. Could be important to you. Maybe you'll simmer on it. And you know, if you're getting someone who's like really pissed, that's definitely like affecting them and they're thinking about it. Like, why are you getting so mad, Karen? We're okay. You're not, but you'll get there. Everybody's on a path. Sometimes it takes time. Okay, here I go. Let me go back to my notes so I get off this. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, I said the word vulnerability because that is important as you start to critically assess things and move forward. Vulnerability will give you the power of self-love and confidence, which you're definitely going to need sometimes when you're in these certain spaces of advocacy or like evolving yourself. So give yourself a break. This is now a Kit Kat commercial. Okay, so let's see. All right, I'm telling y'all to adopt different lenses, love yourself, advocacy lives in all forms. Ooh, okay, resilience. How many of y'all are burned out? Any kind of weird way of burned out? Maybe burned out on social media. Maybe you're burned out because your boss is a dick. Maybe you're burned out because you're like, there's so much to do and I'm just the one person, you know? Yeah, you're burned out. Like that happens. But let me give you a trick or a mindset that'll help you. Everybody close your eyes. I'm about to steal all your shit, but I'm just kidding. All right, everybody close your eyes. You don't have to if you're standing because it's weird, but all right, close your eyes and let's walk through a little thing. Okay, imagine someone in your family line. Maybe you never met them. Maybe it's your great-grandmother. Maybe it's, I don't know, your uncle. Like think of the people that are no longer here, the people that came before you, right? All right, hold on, I forgot the next step. Keep your eyes closed, hold on. Okay, here we go. I want you all to think about the time period that they grew up in. I want you to assess what might have been hard during that time, what barriers they may have faced, what oppression may have existed. And then, what was the next thing? Hold on. Oh yeah, okay. I want you to think critically about the time period and what they were dealing with, right? And just like, maybe like kind of simmer on it for a second. Okay, open your eyes. All right, you're thinking about that person. Imagine what that person would be like today. Imagine that person's up in the sky or wherever they're at in the ground as a tree, staring at you, looking at you going through your day-to-day. What do you think they'd say? I have a great-grandmother, badass. My dad's side of the family is from Albuquerque, they're Pueblo. And I don't know if you know about this, but Native Americans have gone through some shit and are still going, right? Especially my family out there. But my family made it, right? Like everyone that came before me made it. And I know that wasn't easy. And I know my grandma would be like, Hita, bitch, keep going. Because she would be like, you have no idea what I had to go through for you to be here, right? And so let that give you a little energy so that it can aid in your ability to be resilient. Because I don't know about you, but we got a lot of resources now. And it doesn't always have to be based in monetary things. It can be based in the people that you know and the resources that you have or the libraries that exist. If you don't know how to do it, you could probably watch a YouTube or a TikTok about it. Evidently, TikTok is now is the second biggest search engine. The younger generations are now saying, I want to learn through videos. I want to see something realistic. I want to know that this is true. I want to visibly be able to understand it. So I hope that helps you. I hope all this helps you whenever you're maybe getting a little hard on yourself. I think as we get older, I feel like maybe this is a gift. Because when you're younger, you're awful at critical thinking. You're like, it's all about me. And you're totally lost on everything else. And that's really just probably because of awareness and whatnot, right? But now that as you're getting older, you're just really understanding not really me. And hopefully your lenses get clearer, but not me. I have bad eyesight. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I pumped you full of all this toxic positivity. But just know that it takes years or it takes as much effort as you want to put into it to get to a mindset that you appreciate, right? I really believe in manifesting and mantras. I believe in positive self-talk. I also believe in sometimes you got to stay in your pajamas for 2 days and eat a pint of ice cream. That's called self-love. That's called balance. My boyfriend will be like, you want to go on a mountain bike ride? I'll be like, nope. I'm going to sit here with Jenny. and my spoon. All right, well, I feel like, am I on my time? What time is it? I don't know. This feels good. I feel like I did a decent amount of talking. All right, so anyway, if you all need anything, like I said, I'm retired at the moment, and I have so much free time. It's so fun. I was like, I'm going to just go do things and not have deadlines. Y'all see me in a week, I'm like, got a 9 to 5. Because that's what I do. Anyway, but y'all know I'm a Rolodex. I've been here for a long time. I love to help people. You all seem really nice and friendly, and thanks for tolerating me. But if you ever need anything, we can put my contact out there. I love to help. Because also sometimes I'm like, I don't possess that skill set, but my friend does, Brady. There's so many friends in here. Hey, Angel. Oh, yeah. Do y'all have questions? Ask me weird things. Come on. Or serious. You don't have to have questions, but if you do. Comments. You want to know about the cycling scene that I've been helping build? Hey, Erica. What do you think is the thing about yourself that you're most critical of, and how do you work through it? Yeah. Okay, my toxic, critical part of my brain. Ooh, let me give you some background, though. I'm the youngest girl of 3 older brothers, all right? You already know I'm like super intense. They're all like really successful, so I'm over here like. Okay, so this is something I've really come to grasp, or grasp? I'm making words up. That's really what I've come to terms. This was really about the grapes. No, just kidding. This is really what I come to terms with this week, is that I will marry myself to a vision, right? And Brittany knows this too. Brittany's one of my oldest friends. Brittany, raise your hand. So, girl. And Brady. Brady's one of my oldest girlfriends too. No, just kidding. I will work myself to death. I will abandon everything else that's important to me, like working out. It's not really important. I know I need it, but I'm just kidding. And I will like kind of sacrifice all those things just because I really want something to happen. But what sucks is I lose myself in that, and I forget what my balance is. And then all of a sudden, some of my real toxic traits will come out. And so anyway, but I think that happens every couple of years, then all of a sudden I wake up and I'm like, no. So that's probably it. But me being able to free myself from some of that and critically look at it and be like, hey, okay, Bianca, you did a good job. Or maybe you did a shit job, but you're going to move on. It's going to be fine. And yeah, that's probably one of it. Did I go too deep? Who else has that? Who works too hard? Okay, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Strategize. No, what do you think?
Seriously, I mean, I immediately,
Yeah.
typically, it goes to something negative. I think that's how we were raised. I want to get away from that. I mean, discernment.
Yes. I love discernment.
Something that lends a little more positivity and lessons learned, wisdom.
Yes. So let's redefine it, y'all. Why? Oh, you want to rap? Okay. Oh, okay. I'll repeat what you said. What's your name? Victoria. I love what you said. I think it's important. This will be great for the group. Like in the very beginning, I said critical is oftentimes negative. That's kind of the vibe that you get with it. You're like, critical. Why? Can we redefine that into something that's a little bit more positive? And that's funny. So I was thinking about that when I was looking at the word, because I was like, I need to go straight to the dictionary right now, make sure I don't screw this up. And then I was like, no, I got to look at critical thinking. Now I got to look at strategize. And yeah, I don't like it either. So what would, for a better word for critical, maybe it's like assessment, like fair assessment. That sounds really not exciting. Everybody, I was giving a fair assessment of myself. Yeah, what do y'all think? I'm going to be like Oprah. I'm going to run around the room, and I'm gonna be like, what do you think it should be?
Yeah, I mean, I think discernment's a good one, like discerning on yourself, yeah.
Yeah. I can't see because all this hair. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, it's one of those words where everyone can interpret it a little bit differently. You said critical mass is one of the words also, so that connotates a whole different thing. Like you are part of something that's tipping it right over to the scale where actually things can happen. A critique, I think of being critical when you're looking at art or objects or really having to give someone feedback without really hurting them. You can be critical, which serves yourself and them. I don't think it's always a bad thing necessarily. You know, like everyone across the globe right now is probably talking about a different topic, I think, with critical.
Yeah, y'all gave me the hardest one, y'all. I'm not mad, but I'm a little pissed. No, just kidding. Yeah, no, I think that's good. Well, then maybe that's a challenge for yourselves, so that when you feel like you're being critical of whatever you think, maybe be like, I'm actually just being discerning. You know? Actually, I just took like a personality test through I'm in a leadership course right now. Angel and I are in it. What's up? Yeah, did you take that test already? Okay, don't worry about it. It's cool. Yeah. Sorry, my coughing spasm. So this last thing I'll say, I took a test and they were like, it was like, here, learn what your geniuses are, which, you know, that's so bougie and weird. But mine was discernment. And I was like, well, what the hell? What is that? You know, what's this mean? And honestly, it's like some people like to refer to it as like gut instincts and things like that. But really, you're the type of person that pays attention to patterns, trends, and people. And you're empathetic. So a lot of times you're able to make a decision on the go because you've already assessed it you've already critically thought about it 1,001 times when you should be sleeping. So anyway, am I good on time? Okay, yeah. Y'all are the best. I'll be over here. Thank you, everyone.